has been a recent surge of people getting dental work done by unlicensed professionals known as Veneer Techs. Now, if you're chronically online like any other normal person in the world, I'm sure you've seen the new business venture taking the country by storm known as a veneer tech business. Civilians are cutting costs by getting procedures done by veneer techs such as veneers, braces, and other cosmetic dental work. It is probably known by the majority of the Earth's population that the United States of America has like the most expensive healthcare system. In fact, the Commonwealth Fund published an article stating 79 million of Americans have a problem with medical bills or debt. I think that's like over 20% of our population. And as we have seen, veneer techs have kind of bridged that gap and offered an affordable alternative. Now, what I'd like to know, and I'm sure the majority of you like to know, are these people idiots? Or is this just a symptom of our very expensive and inaccessible healthcare system? I'm ready to get into it, okay? Hello, my name is Daljiimarax. If you are new here, on this channel you can find me solo traveling around the world, learning various languages, and talk about the culture on these video essays. I am so excited to introduce my second video essay ever. Veneer Techs versus the United States of America medical system. Quick disclaimer, when I'm using medical system, healthcare system, I'm adding the dental system in there. I'm kind of using just medical as an umbrella term because I know they're considered separate, and that's honestly part of the problem because they're both a part of your body, but I'm just using it as an umbrella term. I know they're kind of separate, but for the sake of this video essay, it'll be one. So when you hear me say medical or health system, know I'm including dental. An article published by a licensed dentist, Dr. David Wise, in Bloomington, Illinois, states a veneer tech is someone who has completed a short training program to place veneers and may have received a certification. These veneer techs do not work at licensed or accredited dental practices. Instead, veneer techs place veneers in their homes or at facilities that are not set up for dental work. So even though these individuals are not licensed professionals, they are significantly cheaper than dentists. Why go to a licensed dentist that was required to obtain a 4-year bachelor's degree, usually in the science-related field, take dental admissions tests, apply and enroll to dental school, complete classroom studies, and get clinical experience, pass all their licensing exams, and train in their desired specialized dentistry field, and then have the nerve to charge you an average of $900 to $2,900 per tooth? You could just go to a veneer tech and get things such as a top 10 and top bottom of individual veneers for the very low price of $1,500. If you wanted to become a veneer tech yourself, all you have to do is enroll in a 1-day training camp where you can, learn things like bonding, molding, shaping, polishing, health and safety, and you get a mini veneer kit, get ongoing emotional and mentoring support, and a certification and a training manual for the small investment of 20 individual veneers. Who cares that these people aren't licensing their tools? They're not practicing these procedures in actual dental facilities. They're putting people's lives at risk. Who cares that this is illegal? It's cheap. It's affordable. Because we all know that a quick trip to the dentist, the ER, any of that could put you at crippling debt in this country. Like, no shade. This country don't play, okay? I can understand why people don't go to the doctors until they're literally about to die. And it doesn't help that your dental insurance is separate from your health insurance. So that's a whole nother loop you got to jump over. It's crazy in this country. If you can't understand my sarcasm right at this point, child, I don't know how far you gonna get. Now, to get where we're going, we got to know where we came from, honey. So I think it's important to give a little quick, summary of the dentistry in the United States. I think it's very important to understand how we got to where we are today before we move on with the rest of this video essay. Obviously, I can't give y'all an extreme, and this is going to be extremely summarized, but to get with the rest of this video, this is important. So let's get into it. So, dentistry is obviously one of the oldest professions in the world. It dates back to 7000 BC. The first ever book on dentistry was published in 1530, the Little Medicinal Book for All Kinds of Diseases and Infirmities of the Teeth. In 1723, a French surgeon by the name of Pierre Foucault was credited as the father of modern dentistry, and he published one of the first books on comprehensive system for caring and treating teeth. He also introduced the idea of like dental fillings in dental prosthesis, and he identified that acids and sugar lead to tooth decay. So he was that man, okay? The American Dental Association was founded in 1865. The first dental affiliated institution was founded in and by 1873, Colgate then mass produced toothpaste everywhere and then introduced toothbrushes later on. It actually wasn't really like a thing to really brush your teeth and keep up with dental hygiene until after World War II. So hoes was walking around with stank ass breath for hundreds of years. Yuck. So obviously the dental industry has literally taken centuries to get where it is today. A lot of failing, discovering, practicing, just research in general has gone into the dentistry industry. So the fact that people are doing these extremely difficult and dangerous procedures that take people years and years and years to perfect after a one-day training boot camp is diabolical, like for real. Dentist Linda J. Edgar and the 160th president of the American Dental Association said dental procedures that are considered irreversible should only be performed by licensed, trained dentists. The public should be extremely cautious of these purported offerings. So it looks
I'm not trying to be dramatic and I'm not trying to put down Veneer Techs, but like people are just not thinking 2 steps ahead because once these are on, who's going to take them off? Like this guy has decay all over his teeth and he got composite veneers placed right on top by a Veneer Tech.
I'm a law-abiding citizen. It should be stopped. Do I benefit from crappy dental work being done? Yeah, of course I do. Right? Do I have a problem with it? I mean, I don't want people to spend any money that's going to be down the tubes for them, but, yeah, prosecute. Stop it.
Is the ultimate deception, and in the long term you're going to pay a major price for it. Let me tell you why. Number one, it is absolutely illegal to practice dentistry without a license. Not to say that technically anyone could probably make the shape of a tooth out of some plastic. That's not the issue. The issue is managing the infection, the disease, the current issues the patient has, the medications they take, and all the things that went into 8 years of schooling for me to get my dental degree.
Looks like dentists seem to be taking a more of an educational and redirectional approach to this veneer tech phenomenon instead of just straight up calling people idiots. And that's kind of admirable, I guess. But yeah, I expected dentists to respond to this like, you idiots, how dare you do this, like this is so like I wanted them to, or I assumed that they would take a more of like a scarcity approach to getting people to understand how dangerous, and they're kind of just being like gentle parroting veneer techs and people going to veneer techs like, babes, I understand you want the purely whites, but let's talk about this. Let's hold hands and speak about this in private, okay? This is not what you want to do. You understand, honey? You got me. I'm going to take the very Libra approach and I'm going to be fair and see both sides of it. I'm going to put the veneer techs themselves to the side. We're going to come back to them, but let's talk about the people that are going to the veneer techs. I think this is kind of one of those cases where people are keeping up with the Joneses / they're dumb. Hear me out. Let's talk about the keeping up with the Joneses. Like getting very invasive and dangerous procedures like that. This is not new or exclusive to veneer techs. Like, let's start there. The issue is this is a clearly like solely cosmetic procedure. These people aren't getting fillings and root canals and caps. They're getting veneers. And a lot of the times they're over rotten teeth, or it looks like all they had to do, if all they did was get braces, they could have been good. Like, I've yet to see somebody where it was like, oh, this is justifiable why you went this route versus an actual dentist. Like, I have yet to see that. But again, we live in a world where it's different than prior to social media, when you only seen people who had luxurious lives were only rich people. And I put that in parentheses because we know that people fake it like they got it. But like when you have constant access to what people have and what they're doing at your fingertips all day, every single day, you can never get around it. It can be daunting to feel like, you're missing out on something. So that's what I say. Like, yeah, they're trying to keep up with the Joneses here. They want what they are seeing, what's popular, what's popping. And this is an accessible way for them to get it because, like I mentioned, an average veneer could be up to $3,000 per tooth. Not for the whole set, per tooth. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I feel about that. Next, when I say that like these people are idiots, I don't mean it like ha 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 you're dumb. Like there's something missing when it comes to like basic education, because it's no secret that like your teeth are linked to like your brain. Like if you've ever had any type of tooth pain, like for example, if your wisdom teeth have grown in, you understand that pain. When my wisdom teeth were going in, and I kind of had to stick with that pain because I was in college and I was away and my insurance didn't take it there. I had to get my wisdom teeth removed back in Ohio. So I had to deal with tooth pain for an entire semester. I literally felt like I was being stabbed in the back of my head. My mouth was watering because my gums were hurting. I had these migraines. There was nothing I could take that would make the pain go away. I could temporarily do like the warm salt water and swish it around my mouth, but then it would just come back. Like it wasn't even the tooth that was hurting, it was like my head, everything around it. Like wisdom teeth pain is probably one of the worst pains you could possibly endure. So it's like because it affects the rest of your head, I couldn't imagine giving someone that power to basically do permanent damage, not just to my teeth, but it could affect neurologically to my body. You know what I mean? Like that is insane. So I feel like the only type of person that could do something like that is not just somebody who wants to like have cool pearly white teeth that they see on the internet, but something is not there. They are missing some form of basic literacy that they did not get in childhood that helps them identify when something is a no-no zone. You know what I'm saying? Like they're not just like, ah, you're an idiot. Like, no, there's literally something wrong with them. Something's wrong with the literacy part of their brain that would make them do that. And I'm leaning more to the side that they're stupid. Like, I'm leaning more to that side than just to keeping up with the Joneses. Because, keeping up to the Joneses is more like buying things you can't afford, not doing procedures that literally put your life at risk. Like, no, you're dumb. That's what it is. Like, that's my opinion. You're an idiot to get this done. Now, the Veneer Techs themselves, I'm going to compare them to cult leaders. Those are the only type of people that could successfully get people to trust them with a procedure like this.
So I do composite veneers, which are a simple overlay of your natural.
I'm out here on a ski trip right now, but I can't help myself but to stitch this video. This is yet another example of a TikTok composite veneer technician, which legally is not a thing in any state in the United States.
Veneer Techs use that very like scarcity approach, like get the pearly whites for this affordable price, like I could get you in and out, boom, boom, boom. They make it seem like it's quick, it's easy, it's simple. All you got to do is boom, 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 day in the life, da da da. So it's like that's a cult leader if I've ever seen one. People who get to like really fuck with your mind, and people who feel like they have a lack thereof versus an abundance. Like there's no other way to describe how somebody who has zero licensing, zero education, who took a 1-day boot camp to get people to trust him with their teeth. You don't get another set of adult teeth, my God. Jesus. So Veneer Techs also are stupid people, in my opinion, because what would make you think, how does one start a business venture like a Veneer Tech? Like, who was the first person that was like, I'm going to start doing dental work? That is to think that you can do something that requires a minimum of 10 years of expertise, of training, of studying, of research, of filming. Something that takes the majority of people in this field 10 years minimum, and you can do that after a day. Something ain't right in here. Because that makes no sense. Are you kidding me? And then again, to reel it in, I also think the root of this comes from classism and racism, because the education in this country is a privilege. So when I say these people are stupid and these people are missing like a literacy piece of their brain, they probably didn't come from a well-educated school system. that would teach them this is a no-no. You don't get your teeth done by people who are not licensed professionals, and you don't become an unlicensed professional by doing a very dangerous thing like offering veneers. That's ridiculous. So that's where the racism part of it and the classism part. These are very likely people who are the veneer techs and go into these veneer techs. They had a poor income. They had a piss poor education growing up. Like, let's be fucking serious here. And then again, like I said, you could go into crippling debt visiting a dentist. So I could also understand, be like, hey, I literally can't afford $3,000 of teeth and my teeth are fucked. This veneer tech said they got this deal for $1,500. Boom, 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 get in, get out, and I'm on my merely way. So it's like, I understand how people can get, people getting scammed when they're in need, a dire need of something. That's not anything that's just like exclusive to this as well. We see people all the time selling these courses to people. I made $10,000 in a month and all you gotta do is purchase my course, and then the course is bullshit. It's like, people who fall for this are people who are like desperate for something. And a lot, in this case, they're desperate for perfect teeth. But even though I think they're idiots, I do think the dentists, the actual licensed dentists, are doing a great job by not like shaming these people, but taking a more of an educational approach. Because I feel like when you want to get somebody to understand something, calling them an idiot and you're dumb, and that's the like 101 way how to get them to say fuck you. I'm not listening to anything you say. You're a hater. You don't know what you're talking about. Like, that approach never works, even though that approach should work. Like telling you you're an idiot, this person is unlicensed, they can put your life at risk. That should be how it get, but it's just not going to work that way. So I feel like the dentists who are responding to this are doing a really good job at just being like, hey, let me hold your hand. Let's talk about this. Like, let's literally break this down as to why this is unsafe and unacceptable. Like, let's really get into that. Okay. Now, I do think we should shame the veneer techs because could literally kill somebody doing that. That's how serious this is. I do think we should shame the veneer techs, but the people going to these veneer techs, let's hold their hand and be like, hold on, let's slow down here. Let's calm down. Did you check with the dentist? Because a dentist checkup, that could be a couple $100s. If you got $1,500 to go to a veneer tech, you could go to at least a dental checkup. So what did the dentist say at your checkup? Let's start there. And lastly, I think the people who have gone and got their veneers done by a licensed professional, whether they had a good or bad experience, I feel like if they talk about it, they talk about the severity of getting your teeth work, how long the process is, the upkeep afterwards, the cost. I feel like that will give people another idea of be like, okay, is getting a veneers just in general, whether I go to a veneer tech or a dentist, either something I really, really want. If I hear somebody who has gotten this done, what was their experience like? I feel like people who get veneers done, just share your experiences, even if it was great, even if you recommend everybody and their mom and get veneers, like something like that could just help somebody, not make this stupid decision and go to a veneer tech. And it can make the veneer techs be like, wait a minute, I actually don't have the tools and education to be doing this very dangerous thing. You know what I mean? Like, let's do that. Moral of the story, honey. If you are in need of dental work, specifically if you want some cosmetic work and money is an issue, it's time we get together and we research every single possible affordable type of care that exists, because they exist. Everything, like, there's things that exist for poor people everywhere in the world. Like, whether it just gonna take you a lot more research to finding it, but you can find something that's affordable. But if you do strictly just want cosmetic care, babe, let's set up a savings account, see how much we gonna need, how much you gotta put aside from your paychecks, and get that together. You only get one set of teeth. Oh my God, do not ruin them.